Two neighbors, same street, same $400,000 mortgage, same interest rate, and the same extra $1,000 a month to put somewhere. The first neighbor sends that $1,000 to the bank every month as an extra mortgage payment. The second neighbor invested in a plain S&P 500 index and never pays a dime extra on the house. 30 years later, both of them own their homes free and clear, but one of them is $750,000 richer, $750,000 from the exact same paycheck, the exact same house, the exact same monthly effort. Today, I'm going to show you the math, step by step, right on the screen. And stick around, because this is not a never pay off your mortgage video. There are real situations where paying it off early is the smarter move. I'll show you exactly when, and I will give you a simple way to decide using one number you already know. Let's get into it. Quick note, before we dive in, I'm a licensed mortgage broker. And this is education, not financial advice for your exact situation. The market numbers today are long-term historical averages. The real market never moves in a straight line, and past returns don't guarantee future ones. So use this video to understand the trade-off. Then talk to a licensed pro before you move real money. Oh, and one quick favor before the math starts. Tap that like button for me. It costs nothing, and it genuinely helps my channel. First, let's give our two neighbors the same starting point. A $400,000 mortgage, 30 years at 6.5%. The payment on the loan, just principal and interest portion, is about $2,500 a month. Now, here's the number that scares people. If you make every monthly payment for full 30 years, you will pay over $510,000 in interest. Sit with that. On a $400,000 loan, you hand the bank more than $910,000 total. You're paying for the house more than twice. And when people see that number, something in their gut screams, kill it. Get rid of this loan as fast as humanly possible. Every personal finance guru on the radio has been yelling the same thing for decades. Debt is evil, pay off the house, be free. And I get it. I'm not here to mock that feeling. I'm here to put a price tag on it, because that fear of interest has cost, and almost nobody ever shows you the other side of the ledger. So let's follow both neighbors one at a time. Neighbor one, let's call him Mike, sends an extra $1,000 to the bank every single month, marked applied to principal. And to be fair, the results are generally good. Instead of 30 years, Mike's mortgage is gone in 14 years and 9 months. He cuts more than 15 years off the loan. And instead of paying $510,000 in interest, he pays about $222,000. That's $288,000 of interest he never pays. Saved, guaranteed, no market crash can ever take that away. And in month 177, Mike walks into the backyard and burns his mortgage. House paid, done. There's a reason this feels amazing. It is a win. And here's the cleanest way to think about what Mike did. Every extra dollar he sent earned him a guaranteed return of exactly 6.5%, his mortgage rate. Remember that sentence, because it's the key to this entire video. Paying extra on your mortgage is investing, as a guaranteed rate equal to your interest rate. Now, neighbor two, call her Sarah. Sarah makes her regular monthly mortgage payment of $2,500 a month and never a penny more. The extra $1,000 goes into a boring S&P 500 index every month automatically. The S&P 500 is just the 500 biggest companies in America. And with dividends that's reinvested, it has a return of about 10% a year on average. Going all the way back to 1926, about 7% after inflation would be the average. Now, not every year, some years it drops hard, and we'll get to that, but that's the long-term national average. So watch Sarah's account grow. Year 5, about 77,000. Year 10, 205,000. And at 14 years and 9 months, the exact month Mike burns his mortgage, Sarah's portfolio is sitting at over 401,000. Let that land for a second. Sarah put in 177,000 of her own contributions. The market's growth added the other 224,000, so that at very moment, like Mike celebrates 288,000 in interest, Sarah is holding 401,000. And here's the part that shocks people. Run the actual net worth on burn the mortgage day, Sarah still owes 293,000 on her house. Take her $401,000, subtract what she still owes, and Sarah is already about 108,000 ahead of Mike on the day of his victory party. Same street, same house, same $1,000 a month. Real quick, because we just hit the moment this whole video is named after. If seeing that side by side just made something click for you, tap the like button. And if you want more plain English money math like this, hit the subscribe button too. Here's the honest reason. This channel is still small, and every like and every subscribe tells YouTube to show this video to the next homeowner who's about to make this exact decision on a gut feel with no math in front of them. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps these videos coming. Okay, because the story is not over. Mike fans, your comeback argument is coming right now. Because here's what half of you have been yelling at the screen for 2 minutes. Sarah still has 15 years to pay up on her mortgage. Mike is debt-free now, and he can invest. Exactly right. So let's finish the race fairly. From month 178, Mike has no mortgage. So he takes his entire payment of $2,500 plus the $1,000, so $3,500 a month, and he invests every bit of it into the very same fund that Sarah has for the remaining 15 years. Sarah just keeps doing what she's doing, always doing. Pay the mortgage on schedule, invest her $1,000. Fast forward to year 30. Both mortgages are gone. Both neighbors own identical houses, free and clear. They spent identical money every month for 30 years. The only difference is the order. So the final scoreboard. Mike, who paid the house off first and then invested hard, ends up with about $151 million. Genuinely not bad. Sarah, who invested first, ends up with $2.26 million. That's a gap of $750,000. Same house, same income, same monthly outlay, $750,000 apart, purely because of the order they did things. Why? One word: time. Compounding. It's not fair. It's not patient with latecomers. It pays the earliest dollars the most by a mile. Sarah's very first 1,000 contribution got to compound for 30 years. At 10%, that single first 1,000 grows to 20,000 by the end. Mike's first invested dollar didn't show up until year 15. Yes, his monthly amount was bigger, $3,500 versus $1,000, but it only got half the runway. And in compounding, runway beats size. You cannot make up lost years by investing harder later. That's the whole trap. The 15 years Mike spent racing to kill a 6.5 loan were the 15 most valuable investing years of his life. Now, here's where this becomes useful for you, because I promised a way to decide with one number. Every extra dollar you send at your at your mortgage earns exactly your mortgage rate, guaranteed. Every dollar you invest earns whatever the market gives you. About 10% a year historically, but never guaranteed. So the entire question, should I pay off the house or should I invest, collapses down to one comparison: your mortgage rate versus what your money could earn. That's it. And watch what happens to a 30-year gap when I change nothing except the market's average return. If the market averages 10%, Sarah wins by $750,000. If it is only averages 7%, Sarah wins by $70,000. After 30 years of effort, that's nearly a coin flip. If the market returns exactly 6.5%, exactly her neighbor's mortgage rate, they tie, $7,000 apart on more than $2 million. That's a rounding error. The math literally cannot tell apart. And if the market only manages 5%, Mike wins by $130,000. Your mortgage rate is the break-even line. When your money can earn more than your rate, investing wins. When it can't, payoff wins. Everything else in this debate is commentary. And this is exactly why I beg some clients of my own not to rush the payoff. If you refinanced back in 2020 or 2021 and you're sitting at 3% mortgage, look at what the same race does. A 3% loan against a market that has 10%. The investor doesn't win by 750 anymore. She wins by over 1.2 million. A 3% mortgage is not an emergency. It might be the cheapest money you will ever borrow in your entire lifetime. And racing to hand it back to the bank early is, well, a choice. Okay, now the honest part, because I promise this is not a never pay it off video. And there are 4 real things the invest side loves to gloss over. Number 1, guaranteed versus average. Mike's 6.5 was certain. Sarah's 10% is an average with violent years hiding inside it. In 2008, the S&P dropped 37%. In 2022, it dropped 18%. Sarah only gets her average if she keeps buying through those years without flinching. And that is much harder than it sounds. When your account is down 80,000 and the news is on fire. Number 2, behavior. Sarah's spreadsheet only wins if the 1,000 actually gets invested every single month for 30 years, including the scary ones. If you know in your heart the money would leak into trucks and vacations, then the mortgage payoff's forced discipline can absolutely beat the market's theoretical return. A guaranteed 6.5% you actually earn beats an imaginary 10 you never do. Number 3, and this one surprises people because risk actually cuts against the payoff in the big way. Liquidity. Every extra dollar Mike sent is locked inside of the walls of the house until the loan is completely gone. And hear this part because people miss it. Paying extra never lowered Mike's required payment. If he loses his job in year 12, the bank still wants the full $2,500 a month, no matter how much he sent before. The only ways to get his money back is to sell the house or borrow more money. Sarah's 400 grand, she can reach it in about 3 days if life goes sideways. In a true emergency, the half paid off house is actually the riskier position. And number 4, peace of mind is real. And I'm not going to pretend it isn't. Some people feel a paid off house in their shoulders that is worth something. But now you can actually price it at 10% average returns. That feeling cost about $750,000. At 7%, it cost about 70 grand. And honestly, plenty of people would gladly have 70 grand over 30 years to never owe anything else. Both of those can be true at once. The point of this video is that you should know the price tag before you buy the feeling. So here's my honest scorecard. The situations where we're paying that house off early actually wins. Your mortgage rate is high, say north of 7%, where the guaranteed return starts crowding what the market can reliably be. You're within about 5 years of retirement and you want your fixed cost on the floor before the paycheck stops. The debt generally stresses you out, as in you lose sleep over it. Or you know yourself and money would never actually get invested. If 2 or more of those describe you, pay the thing off and don't let anyone on the internet make you feel dumb about it. But before a single extra dollar goes to either of these, there is an order of operations, and it is not close. First, your employer's 401k match. That is an instant 50 to 100% return on your money. Nothing in this video, not the 6.5, not the 10, comes anywhere near that. Take every penny of free match first. Second, high interest debt. A credit card at 22% beats every number we've talked about today. Kill it first, always. Third, an emergency fund. 3 to 6 months of expenses in a boring savings, so one blown transmission doesn't undo the whole plan. Then, and only then, does the mortgage versus market question even apply to you. And if you get there and still can't decide, split it. 500 for the house, 500 for the fund. Mathematically, suboptimally, psychologically, perfect. You watch the payoff date pull closer and the portfolio grow the same time. And you'll actually stick with it, which matters more than being optimal. One more door while we're here, because this is real estate channel after all. Some of my clients take that $1,000 a month, stack it for a couple years, and use it as a down payment on a rental property where a tenant pays the mortgage, and the returns can beat both of today's options. That's a whole series on this channel. And if the idea grabs you, I wrote a plain English book on financing rentals, DSCR Loans Made Simple. It's on Amazon, and the link is down in the description. So let's put the whole decision on one screen. Extra mortgage payments are guaranteed rate of exact return based upon your mortgage rate. S&P 500 has an average of about 10% a year over the last century, roughly 7 after inflation, with brutal years hiding inside of that average. On our $400,000 loan, 6.5% investing, extra $1,000 finishes your years about $750,000 ahead. But at 7% market returns, it was nearly a tie. And below 6.5, the payoff wins. So match first, toxic debt dead, emergency fund funded, and then compare your rate to what you honestly believe your money can earn. And if you still can't decide, split it down the middle and stop losing sleep. And remember, this is education, not personalized advice. The right answer moves with your rate, your taxes, your timeline, and your stomach. So talk to a licensed pro about your actual numbers. That's generally what I am here for. Now, before you go, I'm going to ask you straight. If this video just saved you from making a $750,000 decision on gut, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I don't say that as a throwaway line. This channel is still small, and every single like and every subscribe tells YouTube to put this math in front of the next homeowner who's about to mail the bank an extra $1,000 a month with no numbers in front of them. That person might be somebody you know. So if I've earned it today, tap the like, hit subscribe, and drop me a comment. Are you on Team Mike or are you on Team Sarah? And what's your rate? I read every one. I'll see you in the next one.